Yep, I love that Frankenstein switch.
That's not how you power that stuff up, though.
Hey, maniacs. I used to be a werewolf, but I'm all right now.
You're a little Jekyll and Hyde and a little steampunk is what you are.
Welcome to Midsomer Maniacs,
a comedy recap podcast of the ITV series Midsomer Murders.
Each week we dig into an episode of the show, including the murders, the mayhem, the loonies, and everything else we love.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mark.
Welcome to season 22, episode 1.
Yes.
The Wolf Hunter of Little Worthy.
Just two things off the top. As we always mention, this is a spoiler podcast, so
we're going to ruin everything for you.
We're going to ruin everything for you. So if you haven't seen the episode, stop and come back.
Yes.
Also, if you let your kids watch American Werewolf in London, The Wolf Hunter of Little Worthy, then they should be able to
if they can handle Naked Father Brown Butt, they can handle this podcast.
So a lot of Naked Father Brown Butt. Mark Williams is a brave man.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yep.
You know what he would have been wearing, by the way? What he would have actually had on?
What do you mean?
Well, he's really not showing his dingle dangle to those two actors.
I think he is.
No. Remember way back when we had the Relish episode and we
we talked about that. I agree that that's what mostly happens.
Yes.
I don't think it happens in this.
As a professional, I'm sure he has on some kind of adhesive covering to hide his dingle dangle.
I think Mark Williams is dingle dangles dangling.
He's letting his Father Brown fly. Yep. Is that what you're saying?
I think he would probably go, no, we don't need that.
I think he's a professional actor and he would say, of course, I don't expect these other people to be exposed to my nakedness.
We'll have to have him on the show.
Well, one of the three people in that scene we need to ask. Oh, the four, because Ronnie's there too. Yeah. We need to say, so, was his Father Brown showing? Or did he have it covered up?
We did a mini episode for this, which was called mini episode 10, which was called Succumb to Glamping.
Yes.
And we asked you to look for a couple of things that we'll go over. We asked you to look for references to a particular movie that was near and dear to my heart, which is American Werewolf in London.
Because there's lots.
Which I've probably seen
a dozen times.
35 times, maybe. I watch it at least 3 times a year.
Wow. I didn't realize you saw it so many times.
Yes. It is fantastic, that movie.
Yeah, but it's not that good.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
It is. It is indeed. We asked you to look at the Crossways sign. We asked you what other Acorn shows or references along with Father Brown. Mm-hmm. We asked you about a Sinatra reference, which we'll talk about. And we also asked you to look for wood pallets that were painted yellow and dream catchers.
Yes, because there's a lot of them.
There was a sale on yellow pallets.
Yeah. There was a sale on yellow paint. And
they made that giant
pallets.
Logo thing. How do you think they did that?
Oh, it's foam. It's definitely carved foam.
It's definitely
for sure.
carved foam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything else is plywood and wood pallets.
Yep.
Which, good for them.
UK broadcast date, the 4th of April, 2021. Filmed in October, November 2020. So this would have been filmed during pandemic.
Yeah.
5.18 million views, directed by Matt Carter and written by Chris Murray. Set in Little Worthy, which we mentioned in the mini, is a completely different town than when it previously appeared. Do you remember which episode?
No.
It was the Small Mercies episode about the little village, the Lilliputian village.
Oh, that's a different side of town, I guess.
Yeah, considering that town was about to go under because the miniature village was going to get closed down.
And I can only think that the two old ladies who ran the miniature village would have something to say about the hub.
I would think so.
That they would be like, oh, this is ruining our village. And a wolfman definitely would have been on their bad list.
Yeah, absolutely.
There must be a line down the middle of Little Worthy that they don't cross. That's the other Little Worthy.
The other.
It's a lower Little Worthy.
Little Worthy.
We live in upper Little Woodley, which is further down the hill.
Oh boy, do we start with a fantastic story.
Yeah, so the whole conceit in this episode, if you don't remember, is that there's been a contest for an urban legend, which is...
No. The whole conceit of this episode is Mark Williams' accent in this episode.
Yeah, he's great. Father Brown is great. But it's not an urban legend if it's set in Little Worthy.
No.
It's a village legend or
You did, in fact,
something.
mention that in the mini also.
But they've had this contest, and this character, the wolf hunter, has emerged as the winner. And so it's become a meme.
Yes. And so...
There's a whole theme in this episode of old people not understanding new stuff.
Or not really new stuff, because we'll get to actual origins of memes.
Well, but the internet's new and glamping is new, so old people can't like it, whatever. So we've got this wolf hunter who doesn't, or does he hunt wolves? He's not a wolf, he's a man raised by wolves.
But he's a killer.
But he kills, but does he kill wolves?
No, I think he's a killer of people.
He hunts as a wolf.
Yeah.
He has claws and a pistol.
Yes.
A flintlock pistol and a cane. He's carrying a lot of stuff.
He has a lot of stuff.
And dresses kind of like a highwayman.
I'm going to say this because I see this quite often. It looks like a character that was created by an 8-year-old. Mm-hmm. It's like he's going to have a cape and a cane and a gun and wolverine claws.
Yeah.
And
but steampunky. So put some like gears and stuff on his gloves, and then maybe some like little poisony like pokey bits on his knuckles, and then he's got to wear a mask and has to have red eyes, but not a realistic wolf mask. It should be really low poly pepakura angular looking mask, and it should have flecky stone like spray paint on it.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It's a mix.
Yeah.
And in the exhibition, he's standing sort of like he's about to be burned alive. Did you notice that? There's like a wood pile at his feet.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
I don't understand what the red eyes have to do with it or how quickly she paints them. Does she have a stencil for that?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a stencil. You can tell it's a stencil. It's got edges on it.
I realize it. We can tell it's a stencil.
What I don't get, because Mel's the killer, by the way, is that she's very short. She's maybe 5 feet tall. She must have had a ladder when she painted them. She runs around with a
ladder and that
stencil and spray paint.
No,
she's busy.
Very
lady.
quick.
Yeah.
But still can't hit Aunt Sally to save her life.
Or she can jump. Maybe she can jump.
Maybe. So as this story gets told, it turns out that it's funny and stuff like that. And we see our first palette at this point in time.
Because we also have the Yarrow glamping site.
This is where the story is being told.
Yes, which has been a campsite for a long time, but was recently converted to a glamping site. It's glamour camping.
Yes.
Which means you have to have yurts.
Yes.
They're required.
Yes.
And fancy teepees.
Yes.
Too.
Fancy teepees.
You can have a yurt or a fancy teepee, one or the other.
And cedar saunas.
Yes. Now, I like that hot tub.
Oh, I do too.
It's cool. I would gladly sit in that hot tub.
You know me, I love hot tubs.
Yep. But, not everybody likes glamping.
Yes.
So Pat and Ronnie, who have been coming there in their little VW bus for 36 years to camp, which to them is extend the awning on the buggy and sit outside in chairs, I guess.
So
that's camping.
I've made reference to this a couple of times. I grew up in the summers at a campsite on a lake, and I knew 5 billion people who were like this.
Who were like Pat and Ronnie?
Yep.
I love their names, too, because you don't know which one's which.
Yep.
She could be Pat or she could be Ronnie.
No. So the first palette has some fantastic aphorisms on it. Did you see them?
Mm-mm.
Focus your passion. Live in possibility.
Okay.
Swim.
Well, okay.
Go fishing. Live in joy.
They're kind of mixed up there.
Yes.
Eat a sandwich.
Stargaze or tell stories at a campfire.
All right.
This is one of the only campfires in the episode that is not unattended.
The one that I noticed is right outside the therapy tent that later becomes the Interrogation Yurt.
Yes.
And it says that being unplugged is the new luxury. It says no mobiles, no laptops, no tablets, put down electronics.
Live in peace. Don't be afraid to fail and be present.
They're also used to give directions to various places around the camp with arrows pointing towards.
But like on long shots of the camp, you see half a dozen of them.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
It's a good use of old wood pallets, I guess, if you're repurposing things.
Now, Pat is having his dinner. He's having some cod and butter sauce.
This whole episode makes me happy because fall is my very favorite season. And there's leaves on the ground and there's pumpkin carving. And I'm just like, give me a hot cider and I'm going to cozy up to this episode.
It's totally it is meant to be a Halloween episode.
Yeah, it's set in October. And I don't know why Barnaby's carving a pumpkin wearing a tie. They seem to do weird things before work in the morning.
They don't understand Halloween in the Barnaby house.
No.
Not how it works. Or anything.
And Betty's not involved at all.
No.
She's not there. She's off at boarding school or whatever.
Well, she's like
or at evil
15 or something.
Evil person camp. I don't know where she's at. But she's not there. Because he says he's not into trick-or-treating. I'm like, but you have a child. So you have to be into trick-or-treating. It's required.
Yeah.
That somebody take her, but still, even when they're at the first crime scene, there's crunchy leaves on the ground, and I'm like, ooh, 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 it's fall in Midsomer. Yay. Yes. Jez gets killed first. Jez is the handyman who can't fix the hot tub, goes off into the dark woods at night to meet somebody who's arranged a meeting with him, and gets killed by the wolf hunter.
Yes.
Who claws him with his wolverine claws and then shoots him in the head with a flintlock with amazing aim and accuracy. And he has a single bullet wound in his head, which is quite impressive with a flintlock pistol.
I'm going to say something here. The person who does that scene is taller than Jez.
Everybody's taller than Mel, who wears the outfit. So Mel can jump or wears lift shoes or whatever until the final scene.
Something.
Because it would totally give it away that it's Mel the whole time if the wolf hunter was actually as short as Mel is.
Yeah.
So Jez is dead right off the bat. Super quick.
Yes.
Because the credits open to a montage of marshmallow roasting.
Yes. It's so nice.
Yes, but it's also like slow motion impaling of a marshmallow on a sharpened steak. You know, there's like some menace to it too.
There is some menace, and then it's just a big bucket pours all the water on the fire.
Yeah.
I'm like, at least one fire is unattended, is out.
You were upset about that, weren't you?
Then we get the shot that's in every werewolf story.
The moon?
The moon in the puddle. So what you do is you shoot the moon in the puddle. This is CGI created in this episode.
Yeah.
And then you step in the puddle because that breaks the reality that it's
not the sky that you're looking at.
It's a puddle, a reflection that you're looking at.
But this time it happens in the daytime.
Yes.
I don't get that, but okay. Sometimes you can see the moon during the day.
Well, you can at the very end of the episode.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we see the pub for the first time. Now, at this point in time, we don't see the sign very clearly. We see
lamb?
that it's the lamb.
Yeah.
And of course, my beaker is going off.
Your beaker? Is that what you're calling your head now?
My beeper is going off.
Your beaker head? Does it go, auga? American Werewolf in London, auga? Because there's a wolf's head impaled on a stake on the sign.
Yeah.
It's quite bloody, too.
Did you look at the sign from the episode and the sign from American Werewolf?
I did not do a side-by-side comparison.
Oh my God. I'll put it, I've saved this picture for a long time. I have it saved. But it is exactly the same.
That's great.
The impaled head has a crescent-shaped blade underneath where it's impaled.
Like a sickle?
There is no...
It's impossible that it's not a copy of it.
Yeah.
That they didn't use it as a reference.
Yeah.
That's great, though. I like that.
Totally a reference. And I love that reference is there because it is clearly a nod to that movie. And I think that it's fantastic for that reason.
It's worth a nod.
Yep.
So there's young people and old people.
Yes.
The young people
go to the hub.
And
And the old people go to the lamb.
Yeah.
And the hub is super cool.
It's very techy, Mark.
Yes. And
they have blinky lights.
They have 10 server racks, which are powered by 32 amps at 550 volts.
And a big Frankenstein switch.
Yep, I love that Frankenstein switch.
That's not how you power that stuff up, though.
I have a question. Do people in this town not have computers or coffee makers in their houses?
No, they have to go to the hub to get internet and coffee.
Yep.
And they have to use one of those 6 Dell computers that are plugged in there, apparently. They can't even bring their own computers.
No, can't bring their own computers.
Like, there's no privacy.
No.
If you're sitting there working on something, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be something secret. But if you're just typing up your resume.
That poor guy writing the resume on YourCV.com.
Yeah. Everybody's looking at what you're doing.
Yeah.
And Josie's sitting there writing up the Wolf Hunter blog. No, is it a forum? Is it a blog? Other people can post. Did you see the sightings section?
Yes.
It's wolf pictures.
Yes, it's pictures of wolves.
That's not even what he looks like.
It's bad.
It's bad. The font. Oh my God, that font.
Oh, yeah.
With all of the curly cues.
Yep.
It's,
Yeah. So Wade takes off on his bike.
Well, after he says to Kelly, loser, and does the L backwards.
He does the L backwards.
Like, okay, if the L is facing the right way towards you, you're saying you're a loser. That's how it works, right? If it's an L aimed away from you.
He uses his left hand. Now, we know about filming, and we know film stuff gets swapped all the time.
Yes.
So it might have.
But there's other text in that frame from the hub sign, and it's not reversed. So he did it backwards.
That hub sign is pretty special. It's a whole neon sign there.
Yeah.
I think they probably made that, don't you think?
I think so too.
That's pretty cool that they made that, because I doubt it would take the place I looked online took 4 to 6 weeks to make a sign.
Well, there's more than one way to make a neon-looking sign now, though, too, right? Because of LEDs, you can use like black opaque plexiglass and use a laser to cut the shape of the neon into it, and then just put blue LEDs behind it, and it looks like neon.
Okay.
And it's much cheaper, and it lasts a lot longer. So they could have done it that way.
My question was, it might be a rental. Like the motorbike is. Did you notice?
It says rental on it.
Rental, clearly.
When you've got the dirt bike cam of Wade going through the woods,
and
you see the handlebars, it
what
says
is
rental.
Wade doing? Like, is he going for a joyride? Is he going in a particular? Because he's not on a trail.
No, I think he's going to sabotage a yurt or something.
I don't know, but he finds
Jez.
Yeah.
But Josie's already found him.
Yes.
And written a whole blog post about it. And it is the most poorly written blog post ever.
Oh, the writing in this episode.
The grammar is horrible.
Yep.
The sentence structure makes no sense. There's random capitalization. I don't know what's up with the kids these days.
But it's not like something else. It's like a blog post about those things that I couldn't read because I'd read enough student papers.
You're like, this feels too familiar to me.
And then we had something that's very weird, and we haven't talked about. We go to the Barnabys, and they're discussing Halloween. And at the very end of that scene is a very weird thing.
What?
She says, I've found the Red Riding Hood.
And he's like,
he is like super excited. Is he dressing like her? What?
Because she says she's going to be a witch.
She says she's going to be a witch.
So John's going to dress as Little Red Riding Hood, which is awesome. I want to see that. Why didn't we get to see that at the end of the episode? He would have his little hood on, and he'd have a little basket, and the basket would have goodies in it, and he would have to skip and say he's going to see Grandma.
Is that not a little weird to you?
I think it's awesome. It's better than that stupid turtle costume that he had on when he met her.
The turtle costume's horrible.
He's not going to get stuck in a door frame dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. No, I love that. I thought that was a great touch. I just wish we got to see it at the end.
He's so excited. Like, he is genuinely, like, almost pruriently excited.
Yeah. Well, and it's not even a very good Red Riding Hood.
No,
it's made out of like muslin, like you can see the light through it.
Kel's Red Riding Hood is better.
Yeah.
Like, why was it cut that when they found her, he didn't go, Red Riding Hood?
And he didn't like look at her cape and go, that's a pretty good cape. I should get one of those. Now I got the image in my head, and he's got a little blonde wig on that's got little braids that are like bent up like a little Dutch girl's braids, and he's skipping.
Little Red Riding Barnaby.
Yes, it's awesome. I love it. I may have to draw that. T-shirt idea right there.
The dead body is Jazz Gladbury. He's got a dad. We'll have to inform him. There's boot prints everywhere and canine prints.
But just the one. So either it's a dog that hops on one leg or it's a cane.
It's a bullet to the head, which is rare in Midsomer to have a death by gunshot.
Yeah.
And then there's the most difficult to listen to discussion of what memes are and old people.
Which we talked about in the mini episode.
Yeah.
But it's this whole idea that somebody came up with the wolf hunter story and then it spread, right? It went viral.
Yes.
People shared it. And there's fan fiction about him now and stuff. Because, you know, the kids are down with the memes.
Yes.
And Winter's down with the memes.
So then John says something that when I hear things like this, I go, wait a minute, is that true? He says, I prefer terms not created after the year 2000. So I looked up glamping.
2005.
2005. Though, you know, people have been luxury camping longer than
Yeah.
that, and then meme is 1976 from The Selfish Gene. From
Dawkins.
Dawkins.
Well, and memetics were around before then too. So it's not a new term. But to apply it to something on the internet is fairly new.
Yeah.
Saying that something that spreads in a viral way is memetic.
Then there's a weird Urban Dictionary reference.
We should add Little Red Riding Barnaby to the Urban Dictionary.
My son's dead. I need a drink. Now more than ever.
Wait a minute, though. You missed something.
What?
When Winter explains where the wolf hunter comes from, they're like, well, you're very knowledgeable. He says, well, a friend of mine entered. And then we find out it's Fleaur.
Yes, that's right.
Who
Fleaur
entered. What did Fleaur submit for the urban legend contest?
Okay. What did Fleaur submit?
Because she's fantastic.
Yes. I would think that it would be a female ghost hellish demon motorcyclist, like a female Ghost Rider.
Oh, like with a flaming hairdo and stuff?
Yep. Johnny Blaze.
That's pretty good.
Which is better than what they picked.
I think she would submit the ghost of a Victorian female doctor who avenges women who were mistreated by bad doctors back then.
Oh, I like that.
So she specifically targets bad doctors. Like Callow's character in the other Midsomer, where he's the doctor who smokes all the time.
Yes.
And he's such a misogynist.
Yeah.
That's who her person would come after. People like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But definitely a vengeful woman of some sort is what Fleaur would come up with.
Yep.
Or maybe an evil badger.
Evil
on a
badger.
motorcycle.
Yeah, on a motorcycle.
Evil Dr. Badger S. Badger S. Who knows? If you have ideas, let us know. What do you think Fleaur would have submitted for the Urban Legend contest to win 500 pounds? Ooh la la. There's a prize for it. I love that Barnaby goes, I'm going to have to pay a visit to that nub. Hub, sir. Whatever. Yeah.
Hub is not a new word.
No, but nub is so much funnier. The nub. I don't even know what it would be if it was called the nub.
Completely different place that maybe Fleaur has gone to.
And you'd have to say it like that too. You can't say nub.
No.
It's to be nub. Yeah, Jez's dad Eric is special.
Yeah.
Poor guy. I mean, he's really sad. His wife is dead. He lives in
He's a little obsessed
windmill.
with the painting the same thing.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the windmill.
Some painters do that though. They go through periods where they paint similar scenes over and over and over again.
Or take pictures of the same meal they've eaten
every day.
A dozen years.
Yeah. But he's also got one of the wolf canes because Jez made it for him.
Yes.
And the killer has one, but it's got a broken toe.
A broken toe.
Poor Wolfie has a broken toe.
At this point, Mark Williams is like, give me some scenery to eat up.
Yeah.
And he eats it all up because they've decided to maybe partake in some of the yurt, some of the glamping.
Ronnie would like to go for a sauna and a massage.
And it's 40 quid. And
that is so cheap.
And what does he say?
Hokum?
No. Before he says hokum.
What does he say?
He says, you could buy a lawnmower for that.
You can't buy a lawnmower for 40 pounds.
Well, I did the research.
Oh my gosh. You're crazy.
I looked at cheapmowers.com, which is a website for a company in Leeds, by the way, that you should check out. They are, if you need a mower in Leeds, you should go see these people because they have every mower.
And this isn't even a sponsored message.
It's
they didn't pay us.
Some guy at cheapmowers.com is going to be like, we got a bump in
traffic.
Hey. What happened? The cheapest mower I could find on cheapmowers.com was £59.98 for a push mower that looked like it would break. Its width was 12 inches.
Oh my gosh.
How long would it take to do our yard with a 12-inch?
Well, if you were one of those people in a semi-detached who just had like 12 square feet of yard in your front, that would be enough.
Yeah.
Like not even like a non-motorized push-bladed mower can you get for 40 pounds?
No, that's the cheapest non-motorized push mower.
It's just more evidence that Pat is out of touch with the kids these days. He doesn't know how much a mower costs.
Yes.
Because he's wealthy, remember? He's a self-made man.
Well, we don't know that yet.
In pumps.
We don't know that.
He's made all of his money in pumps. He's not bought a cheap mower lately.
No, he hasn't.
Before we get to Ronnie and the sauna, though, when Eric goes to the pub, he's at the Lamb. We meet Annie, who owns the pub, but is also the mother of Rowan, who is the co-owner of the glamping site.
Yes. And this is another episode where everyone's related to
Everybody's related to everybody else. Yeah. And of course, they've decorated for the season because it's Halloween. So on the bar, there are a selection of pumpkins and gourds.
Yes.
Okay. A bowl of peanuts. Pumpkins, peanuts. Okay. Then there's a ginormous pineapple that I have never seen a pineapple shaped like this pineapple.
Is it a thing in England to do pineapple
for Halloween
stuff?
No. It actually looks like it's a box. Like there's a label on it.
There's like a metal label on it. We'll put the picture in.
So we've got
the show
pumpkins, peanuts, pineapple, and
I
then
know it's missing something.
The most menacing blown black glass clown, which is not easy to say.
No.
Blown glass clown I have ever seen. It is terrifying.
Oh, and a giant bottle of eggs behind it.
Well, pickled eggs that's part of the bar.
That's part of the
It's
bar.
not a decoration.
No.
Please. Don't be silly, Mark. You'd have to paint them as eyeballs if they were for decoration.
But that clown is scary.
Yeah. It's creepy.
It's got a giant mouth.
It's super creepy.
Yeah, if you missed it, you need to
We
go
got
back.
it. We got a shot of it.
There's also a sign. Did you notice in the pub there's a sign?
Mm-mm.
They show it in the background here, and then they show it much better later on. But the sign for the annual Little Worthy Battle of Aunt Sally is on the wall.
Yeah, there's flyers for that.
It's the 26th of October at 11:30 a.m. What?
It's a weird time of day to do it.
Yep, prize for winning a keg of bitter. It's the hub versus the lamb. The nub versus the limb.
The other interesting sign that's in the background in this episode is in Eric's windmill. It says people damaging this windmill will be prosecuted.
Yes.
It's like painted on a post in his house.
Yeah, because that windmill's like a museum piece.
I know, but you'd think they would cover that up.
You would think.
Jez is dead, and he has a workshop in the village, and so people start leaving flowers in memorial of Jez.
Yes.
But there's a cruel bastard in this village.
Oh, so
because
cruel.
somebody also shoves a wolf puppet in there. Knowing that he was killed by the wolf hunter, that is a mean thing to do.
Yeah, there's a...
It's like if you died in a car accident and people were putting flowers in front of your house and somebody put a model of the car that ran you over there.
Or like a steering wheel.
Yeah, here you go. Sorry you're dead. Here's a tire with blood on it. I put it at your flowers there.
We also have a Midsomer trope here where Barnaby's like, how do you know about this? And she's like, everybody knows in town.
It's on the Wolf Hunter blog.
Now, mostly
usually it's because she knows because she's the killer.
She's the killer. So
usually it's a small village. Word gets around.
Yeah.
But this place
it's updated. It's got it.
Has a blog.
But how do they get to the blog if they have to come to the calf to get
to
online?
use the internet? I don't know. Maybe somebody prints the blog out and distributes it. Because later, Josie sure does have a lot of copies of it to burn.
What is
Paper copies of a website.
When you print a website
I don't understand.
and burn it, it doesn't mean it goes away.
It does not go away.
Okay.
You have to. So this is. Did you read how you have to summon the wolf hunter? What you have to do to summon the wolf hunter?
Yes.
It's on the blog.
It's on the blog.
Apparently, he's Bloody Mary.
Yes, because you have to say his name.
You have to go into the woods alone.
Alone.
No one's ever seen him. If there's a second person there,
No.
you have to be alone.
You have to be alone.
You have to close your eyes. It has to be at midnight. And you have to spin around 3 times with your eyes closed.
Woo.
And then...
If I spinned around 3 times in the woods at night, I'd fall over.
In the dark?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then, when you're done spinning, you have to call for him 3 times. And he'll show up. It does not say specifically what the call is.
No.
So is it like, here, Wolfie, 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 Wolfie? Or do you have to howl? But he's not a wolf. He's a human.
Yeah.
So do you have to be like, hey, loser, whose parents left him in the woods? Hey, loser, whose parents left him in the woods? And see if he shows up angry. You know, like, raised by wolves.
It's like weird Jungle Book
I don't
at that
know.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely strange.
Or who are they? The 2 brothers that founded Rome who were raised by a she-wolf.
Romulus and Remus.
Is that their names?
No.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
There's that awesome statue of them sucking from a wolf's teat. It's really strange. I used awesome in a bad sense there. It's not full of awe. It's full of but yeah.
We do need to take a little step out of the episode for a second and update everyone that Olive is doing much better.
Yes.
I did post that she had been sick and she's doing much better now.
Yes. Like any toddler, she must have eaten something that she shouldn't have. And we had to pay for it.
Yes. So boy, did we ever.
Sleeping on the couch for 4 nights in a row, taking her outside every 90 minutes.
Yes.
So she didn't explode inside. Because she was exploding out.
Yep. It was bad.
One end. It was bad. But she's much better now.
Much better.
So yeah, you have to call him 3 times. I don't know what the call is.
Yes.
But this is all laid out in an entry on the blog.
Yes.
That I paused and read.
And this is where we see the exhibit.
Yes. In the hub.
And we see the
It's
red
the exhibition.
eyes. The red eyes.
Yes.
And we meet Steve.
I don't know how you actually see out of that mask because there are red lights inside the eye sockets. I don't know where you look out.
I don't know if you can.
Mel is so short that she probably looks out the mouth. Yeah. Yeah, this is where we get to meet Steve.
Who we recognized instantaneously.
Well, yeah, he's played by Matt McCooey, who also plays the detective in Agatha Raisin. He's really good in that.
Yes.
But Steve is Josie's dad.
Yes.
And his wife has left, probably because he thinks he can make a living taking black and white portraits of the same trees over and over again.
His pictures are really good, but...
You can't make a living from them.
No.
So his wife has left, and Josie's old enough to live on her own with Kelly. They rent a house. So she's got a roommate.
And he's poor.
And he lives in a shack behind the hub.
Yes.
Where he also develops his photos, apparently. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's old enough to be Josie's dad.
I don't think so either.
If the characters are the same age as the actors, he was born in 81, so he would be 40 or so.
Yeah.
And all I can find about her name is Molly Harris, is that she's in her early 30s.
Yeah.
So he's like 10 when she's born?
No.
No. He's not old enough
Maybe
to
his
be her
wife
dad.
left because... You're a child.
I forgot when I started rewatching the episode to prepare for this. I was thinking they were brother and sister.
Yeah, I thought so at first. Too.
And he feels responsible for her because she's his little sister, but it's his daughter. It just doesn't work. He needs to be older.
This is where fake lore becomes folklore. Wow, you built the entire episode around that one line, didn't you?
They were working up to it. Cod and butter sauce in a boiling bag just sounds so bad.
Oh, yeah.
But then Ronnie has Battenberg cake.
Yes.
And serves tea. And Winter, of course, has to eat it. And Pat says, the tea is good. A mouse could walk on it or something like that. Like, does that mean it's like thick or what? Like, what kind of tea is that? Winter's obviously happy to be like, I'm sorry, I can't finish this. Here, thank you. Bye.
But instead, Winter is off to follow Brandon, who is hidden the orange phone. Do you see where he hid it? It's Jez's phone that he accidentally left behind. He hides it under a bench next to the unattended campfire. Yes.
I know that's where you're going.
He runs past two other ones, okay?
Not this campfire.
Campfire. How is this not burned down? Now, he has it in a plastic baggie. Now, in the next scene, it's in an evidence baggie.
Yeah, because Winter takes it from him and puts it in an evidence bag. But he doesn't put the bag in a bag. He just dumps the phone into the bag.
I double checked. It's two different bags.
Yes, it's two different bags.
Because at first, just watching it, I was like,
where did Brandon get an evidence bag?
Yeah. I was like, why did Brandon put it in an evidence bag?
Now, if you were Brandon, would you go ahead and throw it when Winter's like, stop, but he's all the way on the other side of the pond? You'd throw it anyway?
Yeah.
Because then the frogmen would have to come out and dredge the pond and find it.
I don't know why Brandon's here in this episode. He doesn't really do much.
To be suspicious of his wife who's doing nothing wrong.
His wife does less, and he is the final victim, but that's sorta.
I guess.
I don't know.
So then Ronnie goes to the sauna. Somebody sabotages it. She almost doesn't get out. And Pat is mad.
Oh boy, Pat is mad.
Like, he goes at Brandon, and then Brandon, because he just makes one mistake after another, goes makes like a death threat to him in front of the police.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Like, geez. All he's saying is, you almost killed my wife. I don't trust your...
No.
Your yurts or whatever.
He didn't almost kill his wife. He almost kicked his wife.
And then Brandon's like,
you kicked my wife.
Oh yeah, well, I could just kill you. And like, oh, I guess I just said, oops, sorry. I know I'm probably already in trouble for the phone.
And this is the first incident that is thou discussed in the interview, Yurt. That control didn't smash itself. Well, it's not how electricity works or saunas or anything.
That one little box would not take power out for the whole glamping site. There's no way the lock on the sauna is electronic and defaults to locked when the power goes out.
Yeah.
But doesn't affect the power that controls the temperature of the sauna. Poor Ronnie.
Where was your wife? I was in the forest talking to my chi.
Ronnie, who's played by Siobhan Redmond, who you might know from Queens of Mystery.
Yes.
Lately. But she was also Prue Plunkett in last year's Model.
Yes.
Back in 2006 of Midsomer. I really like Pat and Ronnie.
I do too. I want a Pat and Ronnie show.
I know he's trouble.
He's trouble, but he comes through at the end.
Yeah, but he's got reason to be trouble.
Yep.
And he's just kind of having fun.
Yeah.
People watching and stuff.
He is.
You know, I could totally hang out with him.
He totally is at the age of, I'm just going to have fun now.
Yeah.
He's not grumpy or angry, except when his wife almost gets kicked.
Did you read the headlines in the Midsomer Mercury that he's reading when he's taking a nap in his chair?
One about...
Cost and council plan for new parking restrictions.
Yes, new parking restrictions.
And local handyman murdered in wolf hunter killing. That's a bad headline.
Most people in Costin will be like, oh, another one.
More parking restrictions?
Exactly.
And somebody got killed? Oh, whatever.
Barnaby and Winter go to the pub. And we have another American Werewolf in London reference.
The tumbleweed moment. They walk in and it goes silent.
Everybody goes silent. Because there's no reason for that.
No.
But it happens in American Werewolf in London.
Because this is a place that tourists, they're trying to attract tourists to. So even though the Lamb is not the touristy spot in town, they shouldn't mind people they don't recognize coming in. But then Annie has the best rant about her daughter.
She certainly does not like liberal people.
She says, this was before my daughter went, and I quote, "Doolally, new agey, trendy lefty, pinko liberal, glamping mad. Go mom." Do you know where pinko comes from?
Pinko is from communists.
It's a sympathizer.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're not a red, you're a pink.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that Nixon called somebody a pinko once in a debate?
Wow.
and she was a female candidate. So he said she was a pinko all the way down to her pink underwear.
Wow.
Yeah. You cannot do that. If you did that now, woo, be out.
I don't know. American politics this week is taking
That's
weird.
true. Who knows?
That's all hokum. Hokum.
Hokum.
Do you know where hokum's from?
No.
It's from theater slang, which is melodramatic or exaggerated acting, which is probably related to hocus pocus.
Yeah, that's why I've always thought of hokum as like fakery.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing I looked up was cobblers. And we've talked about cobblers before, how it's Cockney rhyming slang for lies.
Yeah.
But what I had forgot is that cobblers is short for cobbler's awl.
Yeah.
An awl is a tool.
Yeah.
Which is rhyming slang for balls.
Yeah. Because you can get kicked in the cobblers too.
But how balls equal lies, I don't know.
It's bullocks too. That's bullocks.
Unless it's the dog's bollocks, which means it's good.
That means it's good then.
Oh, British people.
They're so very strange.
Hey, here's a challenge. There's an arcade game at the hub.
Yes.
And we can't figure out what it is.
Well, yeah. Please try to figure out what it is. Also, did you see what you do to upload your CV?
No.
You can upload it as a PDF, an RTF file, a doc file, or a PDF.
Oh, 2 times the PDF.
2 times PDF. Or you can fill out this form.
That's kind of like LinkedIn. You can upload your PDF and it will read it, your CV or whatever.
I guess.
What did you think of Jez's workshop?
Well, it's not very clean. Mm-mm. And why would you ever put a pair of bolt cutters at that height? Like,
unless you really wanted to just bonk yourself in the head with them all the time.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, within reach, yes, but not head height.
Mel would be the only person safe in there.
Yeah, I can't really figure out what he does. I looked at the notebook where they find the photo of Kelly.
Yeah.
And the orders, it's supposed to be his order book. It's like a coffee table, 2 sofas.
Yeah.
No something or other. It's not, like, I don't know what he's doing as a job.
Yeah.
Except making canes for people.
Guess.
And working with someone who's a blacksmith, I guess. I don't know.
Sort of.
It's confusing.
What's confusing is Steve's moment of melancholy while looking at the pictures. Why is that even in there?
I don't know. Steve's just a broken dude.
And then,
Eric is a broken dude.
And then we have a weird thing where Wade has the wolf mask.
Yeah, because he's been dressing up.
Yes.
Right?
But
so does Steve. And so does Mel. How many wolves are there in this village?
Steve, and Wade all dress up like the wolf hunter.
Yeah. Well, they catch 2 of them in the same photo.
Yeah.
Right? I almost want, like, later when Kelly's being killed and Winter sees the Wolfman on the road, that's Steve, right? I want him to run one way, and then I want another wolf to come out from another passage going the other
totally
direction.
Has to play yakety sax.
All Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
They should just be crisscrossing the road in front of him.
It is totally Scooby. That night.
And one of them should be on a dirt bike.
With Kelly's death is so Scooby-Doo.
It's very Scooby-Doo.
Like literally you have the 2 people running up to the same crossroads going,
I'm a wolf. You're a wolf. Wait a minute. And then they mirror each other. One goes one way, that one goes the other. Is it a mirror? No, it's another wolf. It's run away.
Totally Scooby-Doo. It's absolutely Scooby-Doo.
So we get to go to Eric's windmill.
Yes.
Barnaby goes out to talk to him.
The Brill windmill that's in Brill, Aylesbury.
Okay. It's beautiful.
It is a beautiful windmill.
But there's something weird about it that we don't understand.
So there is an arm or a leg that comes off of the windmill that has a wheel on it.
Yes.
That you use to push it around because you can't have a stationary windmill.
No, it has to be facing the wind.
It has to be.
So you have to adjust it. But
it goes through the stairs.
It goes through the stairs.
Yeah.
So if it's no longer a functioning windmill, I get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to turn anymore.
Yeah.
But why would the leg still be there with the wheel on it if it no longer turns?
I don't know.
And if you just wanted to keep it because it was historical, why would you put it down the middle of the stairs?
There's a bunch of walking trails here. I'm assuming it's like a museum or a listed site.
Yeah.
We need to go to England so that we can go, oh.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. And then leave right away.
We're just here to look at this one place. And because we would have to go to Jonathan Creek's windmill too. And check it out.
We can't go to England ever again because there are too many places that we need to go to.
Mm-hmm. Then Kelly and Josie get the wolf eyes.
Yes.
Mel and her spray paint are at it again.
She's fast and crisp.
Yes.
That's a really good stencil.
It's a good stencil.
Yeah.
So many people are doing so much in broad daylight in this episode that I don't understand how they're not seen. I mean, Wade is going around on a dirt bike with bolt cutters. Josie is going around spray painting stuff. Then she's going around dressed as the wolf and nobody sees her. I just don't understand how none of these people get caught.
Yeah.
But then we get the subplot of Ronnie reading the Daisy book and taking her daily walk out to Daisy Cottage.
Yes.
Which is the whole reason why they come to this spot, to Little Worthy, every year to camp.
And the twin brothers who play the piano in this.
No, different abandoned cottage.
Okay. This one doesn't look abandoned at all.
No. But the padlock has been painted to match the door.
Yes.
It's only been abandoned since 36 years ago.
Yes.
So it really hasn't. I mean, I don't know how fast it would fall apart, but nobody's been living there for that long. But their whole purpose is that they had a baby back then that they put up for adoption, and they hope that by coming back to that place, because they included a postcard,
that the baby would
come back there too.
Yes.
And maybe just happen to be looking for her parents the same time they're there on vacation, I guess. The Daisy book is a book of poetry from Little Worthy.
Yes, it's from Little Worthy. It's a made up book.
It's a collection though.
Yeah.
It has no author.
Nope.
You got to wonder what those poems are.
Oh, how I was left alone and must kill people now.
Yes. Barnaby in his little red cape tiptoes down the main street.
So Kelly lives with Josie. That's her name.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kel has decided to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But
because she's an aspiring actress.
But she doesn't tell anybody.
No. She packs a few things in a little backpack.
And she has
hardly
no
bigger
family
than a purse.
in this town.
She's 18, by the way.
Yep.
Because Mel came to town the same year Kelly was born.
Yes.
Where Kelly's family is gone, we don't know. We don't hear.
Well, they're in Scotland.
Oh, that's right.
Why is Kel in this village?
I don't know. She was born there and then her parents left, I guess.
Maybe she will become abandoned and want to kill people.
Hey, if everybody whose parents left them or put them up for adoption became a wolf-themed serial killer, they would be everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere. So Kelly wants to go off and become an actress.
So she dresses up like Little Red Riding Hood.
For no reason whatsoever. And goes off in the middle of the night to the cemetery.
Music to the cemetery.
I don't know who she thinks she's meeting.
I don't know either. And at this point in time, in a small village in England, there are 3 people in peppercorn masks.
Dressed as wolf hunters.
And still, Jamie sits in his car and goes, that's weird. Get out of your car.
I'm going to honk at him. Beep, beep.
And he goes, wait. Wait is worse than stop, or I'll say stop again.
And then runs a block and gives up.
Yeah, he just gives up.
Meanwhile, the real killer, dressed as a wolf, is behind him, killing somebody.
Okay, Kel was leaving, okay, right?
But when Josie follows her, the star of the episode gets featured yet again. The dang squeaky barber sign.
Yes.
Why is it on in the middle of the night? Why is it rotating in the middle of the night?
Why is it a barber shop? Why?
It makes that noise like the whole village must hear it.
Yeah. My notes say that thing needs some oil.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Kelly gets killed. She gets crucified.
Okay, before Kelly gets killed. During the Scooby-Doo moments.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you're Kelly. Pretend.
Okay.
You get your Little Red Riding Hood
outfit
on.
Yep.
Okay.
And tiptoeing into the cemetery.
How are you leaving town?
I don't know. I'm meeting somebody at the cemetery.
Who?
I don't know.
Because how would you normally leave town? You get in a car.
You get on a bus.
Get on a bus.
In the daytime, you'd say, I'm leaving because I'm 18 and I can go where I want. And I would leave. But no, she's creeping away in the middle of the night with very few things. A girl her age who's fashion conscious would have far more than she could fit in a little backpack.
Yeah, she would have a rolly bag for sure.
At least.
Yeah.
So she gets killed in the cemetery.
Yes.
On a gravestone that looks like a cross.
Yes.
And the killer has thought ahead to buy a wreath.
Yes.
Or maybe there was already a wreath there.
Maybe.
And Mel puts it on Kel.
My notes for this section say the wolf hunters.
Mel, again, is super fast.
Super fast.
Because Winter can't be 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
He hears the shot, and she has time to hoist Kelly up onto this tombstone.
She's super strong, too.
And use the wreath around the stone and her neck to hang her from it.
Yep.
Having clawed her and shot her.
And then picks up her cane and her gun and her claws and runs away.
In her borrowed boots.
Yes.
Because I guarantee Eric's feet are bigger than Mel's. So the boots don't fit.
No.
And they're lopsided. So she's like ka-clunk, 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 ka-clunk through the cemetery.
It seems rushed.
This is where we get the Sinatra reference that you couldn't find.
Okay.
Because Fleaur, who's been looking at all the boots in the village.
Oh, that's
says
right.
These boots were lopsided as if the person who regularly wears them has a limp.
Yes.
And she says, let's hope these ones are made for talking.
Yes, because it's a Nancy Sinatra reference.
Still Sinatra.
It's still Sinatra.
I got you.
Yep.
Because it's a reference to these boots are made for walking.
Yes.
And that's just what they'll do.
And that's so Fleaur.
One of these days, these boots are going to tiptoe out of the cemetery after killing you. Dong, 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 dong.
A big dragon scares a scaredy cat.
It is a big dragon to put inside the door. And he's been out all night.
Yes.
He's coming back in the morning. It's like 7:10 in the morning.
Yes.
Sarah's getting ready to go to work. Betty's off at killer camp. So Barnaby's rolling in first thing in the morning. He's tuckered out. I don't blame him for being surprised by the giant dragon. Why is it in the house? I don't know. Nobody's going to see it.
It is big.
I think it's taller than the front door.
Yes.
Trick-or-treaters are not going to see it.
I heard the news about Kelly because I killed her. Yeah. She is, okay, we've said this so many times, but Mel is Looney Tunes.
Yes.
Like, in the greatest Scottish Looney McTooniness. She does so many things that an actual killer who felt guilty would never do.
I don't know. I think she is a psychopath.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She's broken, but she has built an entire life around the way she is broken.
Yes. Now, Sarah, I know that there's a killer loose in town. Mm-hmm. I know the killer has killed 2 people in 2 days. Uh-huh. This is a ginormous threat to this village.
Yeah.
It's time for Aunt Sally.
Nothing gets in the way of the Aunt Sally tournament, Mark.
Okay, wait a minute.
It's an annual event.
It is not a tournament because whoever is there gets to throw the thing.
It's casual. They swap out people on for their team.
It's for beer, okay? It's not casual. There's no matter who's on what team. Doesn't matter.
I love when Barnaby and Winter walk up and Annie goes, wait a minute, can we have him instead? She wants Winter on their team instead.
You just make up the teams and no one is any good at this. This is the annual event. No. Somebody must have practiced.
This is them being welcoming to outsiders to the village. Now, why is Fleaur there? I don't know. She's just randomly hanging out in her favorite orange sweater.
That orange sweater is amazing.
She not only throws that thing, but she throws it with her purse on her other shoulder. She didn't even put her bag down.
But she doesn't actually throw it.
No, but she does. You know she does. Fleur's awesome.
Yeah.
Fleaur would secretly be like a world champion Aunt Sally player and not mention it.
Yes.
She could throw it from her sidecar and still
I know why she's there, because she's taking a break from reading Josie's blog.
Yes. Because, she's just taking a tea break and read the whole blog.
After the Aunt Sally tournament, I'm going to fix the hot tub secretly.
With a sledgehammer.
Yes.
Because that's how you fix a pump. Meanwhile,
you get kicked if you don't.
Doolally, Pinko New Agey Rowan is putting black tourmaline around another unattended fire. Because it soaks up negative energy.
Yes.
And Brandon just not only rolls his eyes, he rolls his whole body. Like,
yes.
Whatever. And like glomps off somewhere. What would you call those things that are hanging from the tree that Wade snips the chain from?
Okay. First of all, why would you go up in those things?
I can imagine.
How would you go up in those?
Well, there's a ladder. And then from the ladder, you just leap out. And land inside one of them. And when it stops swinging and knocking the other people and the other ones out, you relax. And then when you want to get down, you just jump.
I cannot think of a least relaxing thing for you. In my notes, I have Sarah's not using those things.
If it was like 4 feet off the ground, hanging from a tree branch, I imagine it would be really cozy, kind of like a hammock.
Like a hammock.
Yeah.
No.
But they're like 30 feet in the air. And you have to scale a tree branch to get out to them. Like, I don't know how that's supposed to work. You certainly can't get out. You must bungee jump out or something. I don't know. But what would you call those? Because I tried to find them online. And I was like, nest in tree, hanging hammock nest.
Hammock nests.
Hanging tent seat. I couldn't find anything like that. I'm sure they sell them. They make them. They had little pillows inside. They looked really cozy. Yep. But I couldn't find them anywhere because I don't know what to call them. Death traps?
I guess. Wade is a stupid vandalism guy.
Saboteur.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not really into it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do it.
He's going to get caught. There's more unattended fires and pallets. Back to the interrogation yurt.
Where they have a coffee and cappuccino maker on the top of a filing cabinet.
Yes.
Okay.
You can't hammer a nail on the internet. What? What? What?
You can't learn practical skills on the internet. That's what he's saying. You can't get real experience on the internet.
But you can learn so much.
Yeah, but you can't build a pump empire.
It finds out that he's the secret angel investor. And then we have Father Brown ass.
Let's be clear about how angel investors work.
Yes.
They're not secret investors.
No.
They're non-public investors.
Yes. The people who you're investing know who it is.
Know who you are.
I don't.
You just aren't a public face of the company.
I have a company that runs a glamping place and I need an investor, but this investor is not going to tell me anything about them and just give me a bunch of money. That's as sus as they come.
They just want my bank information so they can wire me cash.
From Nigeria.
I think they're a prince. No.
So you don't think Father Brown's naked here?
I think he's darn close to being naked. Okay. I think he has a modesty pouch on.
The front.
A little drawstring sack that you put around your Father Brown and cinch up to hide it.
No.
Can they see his pubes? Probably. Yeah. Yeah. It's as close to being absolutely buck naked as you can be.
How did we get to Father Brown's pubes?
All I'm saying is I think, you know, the little drawstring pouch cinches around stuff, so it has to cinch down, meaning there's probably some pubes showing. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think Father Brown's the kind of guy who would shave. So I think you could see them. And they're probably ginger.
He didn't manscape.
Brought to you by...
They're probably ginger.
Brought to you by... We finally found a tie-in for that damn company that's keep wanting to sponsor the show.
Yes, exactly.
Father Brown's manscaping service. Is your little drawstring pouch too small? You need Father Brown's manscaping.
Okay. Couple of things about that. They would know immediately he was naked when they walked up. They would see him being naked. Because,
only if they look down into the water.
Because when Barnaby's in the tub later on, you see that he has trunks on right away.
When we can see it from the top, yes. Not from the side.
No, but
and
they walk up and there's
bubbles.
Yeah. No, there's no bubbles at that point in time.
Steam.
Second of all, did you notice how he kind of stands up and the way they cut it, he's actually standing on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't have cut it with him standing up, like just he's in the tub and then he stands up because there's a little bench around the inside.
And he's clearly on it because otherwise his Father Brown would be at like water level.
At water level.
Right.
So imagine the filming.
No. See, here's what I think he did. I think he's in the water. with his arms out, right, on the side. He's chillaxing. And under the water, he pulls his feet up and puts them on the bench.
Do you think he's that limber?
And then he just stands up.
I know, I couldn't do that.
Brandon just looks away, looks down and away.
Yep.
But Rowan makes full Father Brown eye contact for a second, then kind of blushes and smiles and looks at Brandon. But she checks out the Father Brown for a second before she looks away. What I love is that Ronnie, his wife, is sitting there in a swimsuit. She knows he's naked. She knows exactly what he's about to do. And she thinks it's hilarious.
And her face is at ass level.
It's kind of below ass level, really. It's at Father Brown level, probably. Because now, how's your father means something completely different.
Yep. So Mark Williams gets the phone call from his agent. We're gonna do a Midsomer. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do a Midsomer.
Yeah.
I did a billion years of Father Brown. I want to do something else. Let's do a Midsomer. Oh, I have a weird accent. Oh, that's
great.
excellent.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Right. Oh, awesome.
You get to hang out with Siobhan Redmond. She's a really great actor. She's fun.
They want you to do a scene where you stand up and show your butt. Oh.
Okay. But there's going to be people in front of you looking right at your crotch.
Well, that's okay.
Okay. I got a little drawstring baggie. I got my dice bag. I'll bring my dice bag. Cinch it up. It's fine. I can completely believe that Mark Williams decided it would be better if Pat didn't have any trunks on.
Yes.
And they said, it's your character. You want to do that? Fine. We can roll with that.
So now I also watched it. We spent a lot of time on this scene, but I looked very closely. There are no trunks anywhere.
No, there is a towel, though.
There is a towel. How did he get out to the hot tub and get in the
the towel?
It's a big towel.
He's not a big guy.
He's not a little man.
I mean, unless you're flattering him, I don't think he needs a big Father Brown dice bag. Just saying. It's about time that middle-aged butt gets its screen time because we've had enough young, fit sergeant butt in the history of Midsomer.
Yeah.
It's about time an older man got a little butt time.
Yep.
You go, Mark Williams.
At this point in time, in my memory, the episode ends. Scene.
It's also Mr. Weasley butt, by the way.
Yes, it is Mr. Weasley
if you want to be really traumatized. As if a priest's butt isn't too bad. Father Brown butt. But it's also Mr. Weasley butt.
Ron, we saw your father. All of him.
Yeah. He was wearing a dice bag, man.
His muggle was on full display.
I showed it to everybody. So now Winter is doing property search, right? Because they want to know who owns Daisy Cottage.
Yes.
And it's owned by a company who has an anonymous owner. They need to go to like company's house or something to find out who the actual property owner is.
Yep.
And while he's looking up this research on screen, there is another document opened on his monitor.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
And I can't believe you didn't catch it.
I did not catch it because I was in a hurry with this episode.
So next to the window with the property search for Daisy Cottage is a police report from the Midsomer Constabulary.
A report of a missing or deceased person.
It's a death report.
Yes.
For a man whose name I can only guess is Peter Panaudis. It's definitely Peter. Date of birth, 15/5/75.
And he has an address.
99 Lobalt Drive, London.
Yep.
But he's also listed as being homeless. And his job is he's a builder.
Yes.
But then it gets interesting.
It's so good.
The time of death is 1455.
And we'll put this in.
We'll put the screenshot in.
Yep.
Cause of death. Killed by death.
Killed by death.
Immediate cause of death.
Apparent death.
Due to deceased.
Yes.
Other significant injuries, perforation to eardrums, and we can't see the rest. So he died by being dead.
Yes.
He's dead by dead.
And the county police found him. Dead by dead.
Immediate cause of death. He's dead. See, this is what you get when you don't let Fleaur take him back to the mortuary before you ask.
This is why we need Fleaur.
I'll know more when I get him back on the slab, and then she always knows more. But if you don't let her do that, she's just going to write down, he's dead by dead. I don't know.
We're gonna
I love
go
that document because whoever wrote it never meant anybody to look at it.
And we so looked at it. Mark Williams is listening to the episode going, at least they're not talking about my bits anymore.
We can talk about him some more, Mark, if you want to come back on the show.
If you want to be on the show, let us know.
So we find out that Ronnie and Pat were there 36 years ago, had a baby.
Yes.
They thought they were too young. They weren't married. They put the baby up for adoption, and they've regretted it ever since.
And then at this point in time, with the scene at the end, the climax, Mark Williams shows what a great actor he is.
Yeah.
Because he is still in character.
Yeah.
And yet he changes everything about that person.
Yeah.
And all the artifice that person puts up in public goes away. When he says, I was a coward, you believe it.
As soon as Ronnie says, we can tell them what happened, because he says it's private.
Yeah.
It's private.
Yeah.
But when Ronnie says it's okay, he changes.
And that is just amazing. The two of them are the stars of the show.
Yeah. Well, and earlier he says, I don't love glamping, but I love Ronnie. And she does.
Yeah.
It's like they're a very well-written couple. They have really good actors playing them. So they put this baby up for adoption.
Yes.
And they've regretted it ever since. So
because
they keep
she becomes the wolf hunter.
Yeah, well, they love her anyway.
Yep.
Their little psychopath in the really bad coat.
We'll wait for you. What?
Forever?
What?
Because she's killed 2 people in cold blood. She's going away for a while.
She's going down the river for a while.
She's not going to be in the Midsomer County jail where they can visit her.
Did they put her in the cop vehicle with the peppercorn mask?
No, she would look headless from the back because the coat collar is taller than her head. And so all you would see is the collar and like a little blonde bun at the top.
They purposely shoot the last scene in a way that doesn't accentuate that she is so much shorter than everybody else.
Yeah, because when she's tying Brandon up and putting the gasoline at his feet, she doesn't even come up to his nose.
No. How does she knock out Brandon?
I think she hits him with her cane.
But we don't see that.
No.
He just closes his eyes.
And then super strong, Tiny Mel manages to hoist him up.
Did she have the wood there and the post there already?
She must have.
I really like that bridge.
And it's like on a bridge.
I really like that bridge.
It's a pretty little bridge.
It's a pretty little bridge.
And she's also slipped away and managed to paint the wolf eyes on the glamping sign too.
Yes.
While nobody was looking.
And she didn't know she was going to kill Brandon until like 5 minutes ago.
Right. When she finds out that Pat and Ronnie are leaving.
She must have like all that stuff at the ready.
Yeah. Because the reason why she kills Brandon is that Pat tells her.
Yes.
That he and Brandon are like chalk and cheese.
Yes.
They don't like the glamping. They're not coming back. Do you know where chalk and cheese comes from? It's a reference all the way back to like the 1300s when cheesemakers used to try to bulk out their cheese with chalk to make the weight of it heavier so they could get more money for it. It made it bad cheese, by the way.
Yeah.
It wouldn't taste good.
No.
But she hears that, looks at the postcard, goes, those are my parents. They're leaving because of him. Calls him, says, I'm an investor.
Paints the red eyes.
Hanging in the woods.
Paints the red eyes.
Yes. I'm a mysterious investor hanging out in the woods. Come talk to me. What? And he shows up.
Yeah.
And she's going to try to kill him. Going to burn him alive.
Yeah, she's got a post, she's got wood, and she's got gasoline.
Burning him alive is not pretty.
No.
But they stop her.
They do.
They're brave.
You're our flesh and blood.
Pat and Ronnie are brave.
Yeah.
They could get shot.
Oh, Pat is so brave at the end.
They hand that flintlock over to Winter as if he knows how to disarm that flintlock. Come on. But he's like, oh, thank goodness, I've got it now.
Yes.
It's safe.
And then we go, is this a happy ending? She killed 2 people.
Yeah. Everybody leaves me.
Well, you're leaving everybody now.
I guess she didn't get placed in a good foster home or whatever. Or the people who adopted her didn't love her. I don't know. What happened to her?
They bought the cottage to wait for Mel. They're going to die before she ever gets out of prison.
Yeah. Even if she gets to plead insanity, she's going for 20 years at least.
Well, luckily, Barnaby has found the hot tub. That hat.
I think it's a good hat.
There are a lot of promo pics of him in that hat in the hot tub.
It works.
Yeah.
It's a good hat.
But we have other suggestions of ways in which he could relax.
A Shakti mat.
A Shakti mat.
Which isn't a bed of nails, but it's real close.
It is pretty close.
I don't know why anybody would voluntarily lay on one. I'm sure people get some kind of respite from it. I don't know. I looked at the pictures. It looks horrible.
Yep.
Or herudotherapy, which is leeches.
Yes.
I love that Fleaur knows that herudotherapy is leeches. I don't think they have herudotherapy at the glamping site.
I got to say that this episode goes a long way for middle-aged man body positivity.
Yeah. Go Midsomer.
Yep.
All right.
And there's a moon in the middle of the day.
Yes.
And we're done.
Best corpse? Nice corpse.
Okay. We got
Jez or Kelly?
Jez. I got to think Jez.
Yeah, I go for Jez too. We don't see much of Kelly, and it's real fast. Yeah. And it's dark.
But Jez has the little silver bullet in his forehead, which wouldn't have killed him. It looks like it dents his cranium.
I think it's their effort to make a bullet wound that isn't too gory.
I guess.
And it's not. There's not even blood trickling from it.
No, and he's got the wolverine claws across his...
Yeah, and he has to lean against that tree and be real still. He does a good job.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to Jez. You give it to Jez too?
I would agree.
All right. After the credits...
Okay.
Apparently, Rowan and her mother are going to get along a little bit better.
I would hope so.
Which I think means that Brandon and Annie are going to get along a little bit better, too.
I hope so.
So that's good. Eric and Wade, are they going to go to jail? They're going to get arrested for trying to sabotage the glamping site.
I got to think they got to at least pay a hefty fine for vandalism.
Yeah. I don't think Ronnie's going to press charges for being stuck in the sauna. But they've done some criminal damage, so I think they're going to at least pay a fine. But I think it will bring them closer, and I think Wade will be like a son to Eric. Maybe Eric will stop drinking and paint something other than that one view.
Maybe, yeah.
That would be nice.
Mel's going up the river.
How about the skeletons? Steve and Josie. His wife's not coming back.
His wife is not coming back.
Josie's trashed the exhibit and everything.
And burnt papers from the internets.
Yes. She's burning the internet. Maybe he'll get a job?
Maybe.
Who's going to run the hub?
Maybe he runs the hub.
Maybe Josie runs the hub.
There's 10 servers to turn on. Oh, wait, there's a giant switch.
It's just one switch, but somebody's got to make the coffee.
Someone has to make the coffee.
So that is Little Worthy. Yep. I have 2 horrible movies for you.
Okay. I'm ready for your horrible movies.
And I'm going to guess I'm going to be 2 for 2 here.
Okay.
That's my bet.
I even have the IMDb open for this episode. I'm not looking.
The first movie was made in 2001. It's only 20 years old.
Only 20 years old.
Brian Bovel is in it. He plays Eric Gladberry in this episode. Here is the synopsis written by an IMDb reviewer.
Okay.
Because the official synopsis is just too vague.
Okay.
While a British film crew are shooting a version of The Duchess of Malfi in Venice, they in turn are being filmed by a sleazy documentary prima donna while the strange staff share meals which consist of human meat. Then there is a hitman, a call girl, and a Hollywood producer all managing to become part of the madness.
This is not a Peter Greenaway film.
No.
That sounds like one.
No.
It's not a Pedro Almodovar film, though it sounds like one. It's not a David Lynch film, though it sounds like one. Or a David Cronenberg film, though it sounds like one. No.
It's called Hotel. 2001. Yeah, it is weird.
That's weird.
It is really weird. Like, The Duchess of Malfi is a bloody play anyway.
Wasn't that the play that
Cully's in?
Cully's in.
Yeah. Strangle Me with Pearls. And it's a murdery play. But apparently these hotel workers are just cannibals that's just what they do.
That's weird.
It's so strange.
That's weird. I'll have to watch it.
That's 1 point for me.
Yes.
Now, the second movie you may have seen.
Okay.
It's from 1972.
Ooh, it's in my wheelhouse.
And Louise Jameson is in it. She plays Annie Davids, the bar owner, in this episode of Midsomer. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. A low-budget English film set in the 18th century about a Satanist brought back to life when the blood of a virgin accidentally drops into his tomb. As he sets about trying to find a willing virgin to spend an eternity in hell, thus ending his damnation, 2 lovers, the daughter of a rich nobleman and a young man who was slowly buying up the land in the area, try to find a way to be together.
I've seen this movie. It has Christopher Lee in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is this called? I've watched this in the last 5 years. I have.
Wow. I'll give you a hint. It's one of the 2 films made by Mike Raven. The other one is the other one is Crucible of Terror.
Yes, which I've seen for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know the name of this, but I definitely have seen this movie.
I almost just said it. It's Disciple of Death.
Disciple of Death.
Mike Raven, whose real name is Churton Fairman. No wonder he went by Mike
Raven.
Was a ballet dancer, lieutenant of infantry, classical actor, television producer, occult researcher, sculptor, interior designer, lobster fisherman, pirate radio disc jockey, and 70s horror film star.
Excellent.
I'm so glad that he was a lobster fisherman in the middle of all of that.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I definitely have seen that movie.
Yeah. So there's this Satanist who's in a tomb.
Yep.
And a girl cuts her finger.
Accidentally.
And one drop of blood goes through a crack and touches him. And he comes back to life.
Comes back to life.
But now he needs to find another virgin to swap places with him in hell.
Yep.
And nobody wants to do it.
No.
I don't know why. Nobody wants to share place with him.
Yes.
Disciple of Death.
Yep.
I get that one too. 2 for 2. Bing, bing, bing. All right. That was episode 127, season 22, episode 1, The Wolf Hunter of Littleworthy.
What's up next?
The Stitcher Society.
The Stitcher Society.
And it has nothing to do with the podcast app Stitcher.
No, but it has Hannah Waddington in it, who is amazing.
And where would people know Hannah from?
Mostly these days from Ted Lasso.
Yes.
She's the boss
in Ted Lasso. The blonde boss lady.
And she plays Mimi Dagmar in this.
A real estate agent. It's perfect.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And that's going to be a week from today. Well, a week from the day that this releases on Monday.
Yes.
Regular schedule.
So that will be the 20th, the day after Father's Day in the U.S.
So tune in for that one.
You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and email, as well as the Facebook groups for Midsomer Maniacs, subreddit, and anything else we can find Maniacs.
And don't forget, we're still raising money for the World Central Kitchen. Buy a t-shirt, a tote bag, a coffee cup, whatever. Just 2 weeks or so, we'll be donating that money.
Like, subscribe, and hit the bell on YouTube. The next episode, 127, The Stitcher Society.
128.
128, yes. Sorry.
The Stitcher Society. Oh! Until then, keep your Father Browns under covers.
Bye, Maniacs.
Bye, Maniacs.
They purposely